Welcome team, very excited today to bring Tuivasa. You don't need much of an introduction, mate. I mean, you're a global sporting star in the UFC. You have 1 million followers on your Instagram and growing rapidly. You probably need no introduction, mate, but I will introduce it in a way that I'm very respectful for what you've done, mate. I've known you for a while, not super closely, but usually through mutual connections and different experiences over the years. But I'm so respectful for what you've done for yourself to be sitting here today in a studio, 27 Project in Western Sydney, and you own it, mate. It's yours, and there's a few of you guys here in this building, this studio that are sitting is yours. The building out here, it's the stuff you're doing. We're sitting here now, and you got your Drink West t-shirt on and your FTA hat on. These are all your brands, all your businesses. Like, mate, I just love it. I just love watching what you do, as well as loving you in the cage, mate. I love how you fight and how you live your life. So thanks for coming on the show, mate. Nothing is scripted, always. And I love that about chatting with you because I don't think anything's ever scripted with you. So,
I can't read.
so you always play that down to you're a very smart man. You are a very smart man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming back.
Yeah, we recently recorded with Shaq Mitchell here, and this could be a new home for my podcast, actually.
Always welcome.
Yeah. So, mate, I might as well start with there was a day we trained together actually on the Gold Coast. You were up there in a training camp, and again just through different people and connections, and you came into the footy team I was with at the time, and then I actually come and trained with you and your staff, and I'll never forget it because it was a hard workout. You know, like Stevie was running you through your paces and trying to put me through mine, and he said to me, mate, for the next round, for 3 minutes, or might have been 5 or whatever, you are punching Ty and he's not allowed to punch you. So I said, no, thanks, Steve. Thanks for that part. Thanks for that part. So I got told I had to try to hit you for about 3 minutes. And look, I'm a lot light. I'm not super fit, but I'm a lot lighter than you, and you're a big heavyweight, and I thought, I'll land a punch surely. Mate, I couldn't hit you. So this is where the respect for you as an athlete, like, mate, I watch you and Jaquil do backflips and rolls and like athletic type skills that, you know, you usually see 50 kilo gymnasts do, and you guys were like 130 kilos, so athletic. And I tried my best to punch you, and I couldn't. Well, I don't know. You were playing with me. I'm so glad that Steve made the rules. You can't punch me, right? But I really loved that. Like, I loved watching you. I loved being a part of your little session there. But then you hit me up in the car park after it. You said, hey, do you got any sponsors you can get me? And I don't know if you remember the conversation. I said to you, mate, like, with all respect, you're known for swearing in your press conferences or doing this or doing that. I believe you should make your money from fighting, and I believe you should make your money from being you. Just be you. Because the type of corporates I would go to, they wouldn't really align. They love you personally, like all the CEOs and all that. They all love you personally, but sometimes they couldn't put their brand to that. And I'm sure you've had experiences with that you might share. But my advice at the time was just be you. And now all these years later, mate, you are killing it just being you.
Yeah.
Am I right to say that?
I'll try. Yeah, we talked about this before. I had like a little instance. I remember that asking you, and it was kind of hard at the time, like, because I was just starting out, you know, and obviously coming from what do we know out here and doing whatever we're doing, and then going into try and live a normal life and try and do the right thing. It was hard for me at the start, and I had that first run-in with a company. They gave me some money, gave me like 50K or something. And I did a post on Instagram, and I did what I do, like you said, and I swore or whatnot on the thing, and they messaged me and said, oh, do you mind if you take that down? And I just sent him the money back, and I said, not really. You can get fucked. Like, didn't listen to my mum growing up. You know, I'm not gonna go and listen to you. So, and for money, I won't change a thing. So, I kind of learnt the hard way or whatever way it is. You know what I mean? But I knew that if I do my thing and I just put my brain to it, I'm sure I can represent myself and make money off myself.
Well, yeah, because the fight game, I mean, there's obviously the professional side and the training side that we'll go into and the technical side, but the actual selling the fights, like, there's a point of difference with you now. Like, when you watch a UFC press conference, like, people want to hear from you because you're just being you.
Yeah, a lot of especially today, I think the fight game's changed a little bit. You know, the Connors changed a bit. A lot of people trying to put it on for the camera, which is smart. You know, they obviously everyone's in it to get paid and feed their family, but a lot of them are just fake or dickheads.
Yeah.
But I don't really. I enjoy myself. I love what I do, and it reflects.
So those press conferences, what was that like then, coming from Western Sydney, where, you know, you grew up? I'm sure we need to go there. How you grew up, but even the original fight days. You know, you used to fight on Tama Tahuna's shows out at St Mary's,
The band club.
the band club.
They were the days.
You know, you've gone from that to like the bright lights of Vegas. Like, what was that like for you when you first hit that scene?
I always knew what I was in my head. I always wanted to, you know, be something or be someone. But once you go there, I think I had a good warm up with Mark Hunt. You know, Mark took me in and showed me the ropes, and he travelled me around the world. You know, he really just put me on. And once I walked out with him in his corner, and I just felt like I felt this rush, and I felt it's like when you walk out, but it wasn't my fight. You know what I mean? And I was just holding the bucket, and I'm just there to help him. And I remember the first time walking out, and I was just like, "Fuck! If I was doing what he's doing, you know what I mean? Like it's a drug.
Yeah.
It's something you can't. It's like having a grand final all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something that I've said it before. You know, fighting is like you don't get no buzz like that.
So then when you've hit the selling of the fights and you've got all these cameras on you, like you're talking like hundreds of millions of viewers, the UFC. Were you nervous when you first sat in front of a mic like this? Or it was just cool, wasn't it?
I've always been.
Yeah.
I just do me. You know what I mean? I don't really worry about. Man, I was hated from a long time ago, so I don't care what anyone thinks, you know. And I think it's just I'm cool. I'm just a normal Joe Blow.
Yeah.
Just I get to do what I love and enjoy in front of the world, and I get to make a career off it, and I get to show my family a good life. So I'm very grateful for everything.
Talk to me about family. What have we got? You got a young son, haven't
Family,
you?
yeah. I got a little boy,
Yeah.
Carter.
Yeah.
He's growing up very fast.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, you know, I did all this, I do all this. It's for him, and just to give him a better head start, and not just it's not about giving. It's about showing him what is possible, and what is real and what is not.
I've got a feeling where when you say that, you want to give him when you say head start, I feel you want to provide for him what you didn't have.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, which is kind of what we all do.
It didn't have
You know,
much.
Yeah. So can you tell us how you grew up? I mean, you are so proud of the area and where you're from. Could you share how you
I
grew
was
up?
born here in the Nepean Hospital. Still live here, down the road from the Nepean Hospital. My dad was from Mount Druitt, Shelby. So I was both Shelby and Penrith, and I got 13 brothers and sisters, 14 brothers and sisters, something like that. Grew up in a with me and my mum. It was just me and my mum, and then my dad had 7 other kids at that time. So I had a big Samoan family, and then not really many on my mum's side. But yeah, just grew up just Hausa styles, you know, and that was it. Just grateful for grateful for where I am now, you know, and I wouldn't change it one bit. And I think there's a lot of things we can take out of growing up the way we did to try and make ourselves better.
So when you say just you and your mum, but there was 15 of you, where does everyone live?
No, so my dad's got kids to different women.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So you and your mum, so there's Samoan and there's Aboriginal in the family, right?
Yeah. My mum's Aboriginal.
Mum's Aboriginal.
Samoan, yeah.
And have you learnt much about her side of the family, where you're from and where your people are from?
So my grandmother is from Queensland.
Yep.
She didn't really tell us much.
Okay.
If that was, if you know much about that, like,
Yeah.
she wasn't really strong on letting us know about anything or kind of, not just me, she was a bit older. My great-grandmother, I was closer to my great-grandmother. My grandmother, we weren't really that close.
Okay.
She's passed away now, but I never really had, I got, my grandfather still lives in Redfern, but there's not really much contact.
Okay.
I haven't really had grandparents.
Okay.
And on my dad's side, they both passed away. One passed away before I was born, and one passed away when I was a little younger.
Yeah, right. Because I see you carrying the flags, and you're very proud of that where you're from, your background and stuff. So, yeah, I would imagine there's some stories there.
Oh, I'm Aboriginal. I'm proud. But if you ask like culture, was I raised with like Aboriginal culture and stuff like that?
No.
A lot of it was like in my family, a lot of alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. So I didn't get to experience much like proper culture. So,
Yeah. Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Are you interested in learning more?
Oh, definitely. I always want. I need to learn my Samoan again. I need to, but I've got to move. I've got to work.
Yeah,
I've got to
moving.
keep. I've got to keep putting on for my people. I'd love to sit around and learn and extend my knowledge of my cultures as well. But right now, I've got to work.
That's fair. I'm sure it'll come, and you'll pass it on to your son.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back in touch.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Talk to me about Ty the teenager. Like, freakish athlete for sure. I mean, you were a gun rugby league player. You can obviously fight. Was there anything else you were into?
I can do it all. Hey,
I
you know
heard that. I heard
I
that.
can do it all.
No,
Swimming,
I did hear.
golf, whatever
Yeah.
you want, I can do it.
Basketball.
Aboriginal.
That's it.
Basketball, I'm pretty shit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, non-contact sports, I'm not really.
Okay.
I get too angry.
So talk to me about Ty the teenager, because, and also FTA, like that's your brand now. That's a pretty good brand that you do so many good things too for a lot of people, not just making money. You actually do it all started by doing good for your area. Tell me about Ty the teenager.
Smart ass. Didn't really listen to many people. Obviously, growing up now, probably I don't know what that comes down to, trust issues or whatever. Didn't want to open up to anyone, which led to like, you know, obviously getting in trouble and that. But obviously like footy and stuff, just always knew better than the coaches or stuff like that, which we talked about this the other day. It's like people, you got to know where they're from and what they're about more than just trying to throw something at these kids. You know what I mean? So for me, I was always resilient.
Yeah.
If someone said something, I'd probably do the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, but that's kind of still like me as still today. I'm a bit of a cunt,
Yeah.
but like as in that pushes me. If someone says I can't do something, I'm like, sweet, what's this?
Yeah.
Like I'll go and do it. But obviously you grow up. You have to grow up in life. That's how life works. And
So you're saying you didn't listen to many people. You probably, anyone with any authority, say like a coach or a teacher or whatever, you kind of like had this
yeah,
a bit of distrust towards them. But advising now your own son going through that, would you suggest anything different? Or because there's two things there. I think the people in those positions need to learn more about the 15-year-old kid that we're talking about, or the 13-year-old, or the 12-year-old, whatever the Ty, all of Ty's years actually. But
still to today,
yeah,
I'm not a perfect. I'm still I'm still like that.
yeah. So there's twofold. There's lessons for people out there that are coaching guys like you, and there would have been reasons why you said there was a level of distrust. So I think the first thing those people need to do is earn your trust first, but they probably never did. They probably just went down there, you must do this, and you were just like, you know. But now, even advising your own kid as he starts growing up, what would your advice be to a young Ty?
The thing with me is my all my examples, all my role leaders were not good examples.
All your role models weren't.
We're not good role models.
Yeah.
So there was the difference between me and my son is who he looks up to now is we're doing something.
Yes.
People I looked up to,
Yeah.
we weren't really doing much, going to jail or doing something that's not good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's easy for people to look and judge.
Yeah.
It's not. It's deeper to try and find out. And now I know. That's like you said about my son. If he looks up to the people he looks up to, we own businesses. We own. His uncles are doing this. His aunties are doing this. It's different. It's a different world.
Yeah.
So his examples are his examples. My examples were my examples.
Good on
Two
you,
very
man.
different things.
Good on you, man. What about your influences as a fighter? Like when you were a kid growing up, you're obviously good at fighting. You must have done a lot of it, I've got a feeling. Did you have any fighters that you looked up to?
Mark Hunt, yeah. I still remember when Tama, he called me and he was like, I was in a pretty bad position too. In my life, kind of, I was heading down.
Right.
Yeah. I wasn't in a good spot, and I remember Tama ringing me, going, "Oh, Mark wants to fly to New Zealand." I was like, "Fucking Mark, who?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Mark Hunt." I said, "Nah, get fucked." Like, no, he won't. No, why does he want to fly me? I go, "Well, they all know about you, like, because I was on a bit of a. I started fighting, but I was still being a clown as well at the same time. I never took fighting serious. I still didn't take it serious until I heard I was having a kid. And then by the time the 9 months, I signed to the UFC.
Yeah, right.
I can if I put my mind to it, I can go get it. But it's more, I need to say it to myself.
Well, I remember. So Tama and Jamie Tahuna was fighting in the UFC at the time.
Yeah.
Who I used to work with, and he used to, and we put a bit of a team around him and stuff, and he used to talk about you all the time, man, all the time. Tama, you were like his baby, man.
Yeah.
But Jamie was like the ultimate pro. So
he is the ultimate pro.
Yeah, man. He was doing like 4 sessions a day. He'd come and
crazy.
see us for some.
He still trains like that.
Yeah,
He's crazy.
And man, I even remember like I'd come and watch you train now and again, or I'd be at a fight with Jamie. He was fighting in Vegas, and we were all there. We even moved out of town to get rid of the distractions of the MGM Grand or wherever we were meant to stay. but would bump into you in the elevator, and you're just partying, you know.
Yeah.
And so I used to say to Tama, mate, seriously, when this guy becomes a pro, he could be the world's champion. He could be the best in the world, and Tama knows this. But it all has to come down to you, you know. So you know what to do. You know how to fight. You can afford to put the team around you. You've got the resources to do it now. It comes down to, if you really want to do it, you're going to do it, right? But I heard this like 10 years ago from Tama. Like, he loved you, man. And yeah, so we always knew. And then like I'd bump into you at camp on the Gold Coast, and I realised you're getting there. You started like from the tie I knew when I used to hear stories about you and occasionally see you. You were knocking guys out in 30 seconds in local shows and stuff like that. So then all of a sudden I saw it. Hey, he's getting more professional here. There's something starting to go. I didn't know it was to do with your child. And then, you know, then I saw you've been in Dubai for a few years. Like that, I looked at that and I went, wow, like that's a sacrifice. That means he means business now. And I'm looking at it from afar going, I love seeing where this is going, because it was all right for us back then going, look, if he just becomes professional, but you had to learn to do it. And then you had to want to do it. And then the sacrifices I've seen you make recently, where are we at right now in the UFC? Like, can you be the best in the world?
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I know, but I want you to say
number 5 in the world. That's a
wow.
This isn't New South Wales. This is Queensland. This is the world. Yeah, a lot of people are quick to. I still get asked, do I train? That's fine. That's sweet. But like, it's not for anyone to know.
Yeah. So what is there anything? I mean, now everything's your son, right? But there's something about you. You just love winning. Like
I think I'm only starting. I think like you know, you've known me for a long time, and I'm only starting to become a better professional.
Yeah.
Like, fighting is all sweet. I can fight. I'll fight anywhere, anytime. But it's more about wanting to train, wanting to learn. You know this as a coach. Like, it's everyone can tell you or show you. It's all down to what the fuck do you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest thing. I'm stubborn and I'm you know, whatever else, but like, when I want to do it, you know, I'll show you. I'll show you how we can get it done.
Yeah, I can see it. Like you mentioned before, it's like a drug when you come out. Like I see you come out for a fight and you got that flag and you just love it. Like your energy, the whole stadium just loves. They can feel you love fighting. And I watch it and I go, he's going to be the best. It's going to come. But you've just said it yourself. Like when it's learning to be more and more professional, that's the thing that's been in your way in the past.
Yeah.
And you're getting there, mate. I love it.
When I say professional as well, I mean I think my goals and other people's goals are very different, especially with fighting. What I've noticed,
Yeah.
a lot of them want to be the world UFC champion. They want to be this. Like, for me, that's never really been. That's not a thing. I enjoy fighting.
Yeah.
And I enjoy getting paid to do what I love.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I'm fucking 100th in the world or whatever, but if I get paid and I go and like, I love that. That's what I love.
Yeah.
I get to, I was surrounded with people, some of my best friends who slaved their ass every fucking day. You know, and they're happy they're doing their thing, but it's just like, fuck, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's not. And that's my reality is every day I look at people I love and we're still here.
Yeah.
People are still stuck in ways we can't get out of, and that's fine. But there is a way, and I'm just happy doing what I love doing.
And do you take a lot of pride in inspiring this community because you're such a big person on the area? Do you take a lot of pride in that?
I take a lot of pride in being from the West, and I take a lot of pride in being my two nationalities, we're already not off to a good head start just from being who we are.
Yeah.
In reality, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And then I think with me, it's more just showing. I want to show these people. At the end of the day, I'm not perfect. I love drinking piss.
Yeah.
I love a party. I'm not you fucking whatever else, but I am a normal person, and if you work hard, you can achieve anything.
I love it, man. Hey, you just said you love drinking piss. It just brought me to a funny photo that a friend shared with me recently. Craig Catterick and his wife Jen, who you know very well. I told them we were going to record, and I was having dinner with them the other night. They said, check this out, this photo. So the story goes, you went for a run.
We run there.
You run, and you were going to use the pool for recovery or something. So I was with Kat at the time. We worked at the Parramatta Eels at the time. This years ago.
Yeah.
And he gets this call from his wife, Jen, saying, oh, Ty and Tama are just going to use the pool. And that Kat says, yeah, no worries, I'll be home. Tell them I'll be home in an hour. He got home, and there was at least 24 beer bottles on the side of his pool. And that was a recovery session back then.
We jogged there though.
Yeah, you jogged.
Yeah, we jogged there, so we deserved it.
If I can edit that up somehow, I'm going to put the photo. It's a true story. But isn't it funny that, I mean, now you're in camp mode. You told me you're not drinking, but you do love a beer. And now I'm sure if you told people I'm going to own a beer company one day, they would have said, like, seriously? Like, I reckon people have written you off so many times in your life, and you just keep just knocking them out.
So it drives me.
Knocking them out. You now have a Drink West beer company, which is killing it, right?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah. Mate, it's such a good story, man, because I remember even that when you started it, and I've followed it and I've watched it, and I wish I invested in it, because someone's going to come and pay you 50 mil for that company. I know it. It's what happens. Like, it's
500.
500 mil. Okay, sorry.
We aim high around here, H.
Mate,
you know that.
You still need.
Our heads are in the gutter, our eyes are on the stars.
That's it. Well, mate, so now there's a brewery. I see you got Nathan Cleary on board. Like, that's very clever. Like, you always play down this bit about, I can't read. Or, like, you play it down. You are, first of all, you're very street smart, but you're very, very clever in the marketing space, and you're a very clever businessman, which, again, your children, your people should be proud of. Like, this beer company, Nathan Cleary now involved, genius move. Tell me a bit about it. Like, where's it at? Like, I mean, I just love it. Like, even getting Hayden Knowles and Nathan Cleary to sing with you was genius.
Yeah.
That just went off, didn't it?
Yeah.
That video?
Yeah, we sparked our good old Shen up again.
Yeah. Was that your idea? Whose idea was that?
Yeah, I've got a few.
A few ideas?
Yeah, it was I think that's where our difference is. Like, now we've got our own brewery. Now we've got our own brewer. Our beer is becoming much better. We get to, I think that was the issue. Obviously, so how we started Drink West is we were me and my friend Jake. We just finished training it, and we were all sitting there and just like, fuck, I could do a beer, eh? And then we just said, fuck, we should start our own beer. And we just laughed, like, you know how, like, you're sitting there training with the boys. And we just laughing around, and then we did it, me, Tuivasa, and Jake. And then we fucking sold out. Like, we were selling the box of beers for like 90 or something bucks. And they fucking sold out, and we were just like, that's pretty good. Like, I'm a Westie. I would never fucking buy beer for $95. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, obviously we had a market there.
Yeah.
And we had people who were keen to support us.
Yeah.
So we run with it. And from the start, we never sold beer. Yeah. Like, we don't know what we can drink it.
Yeah.
That's like everyone else, you know what I mean? We can drink it, but we didn't know one, we don't know how to fucking make it. Two, we didn't know if anyone was going to buy it. Three, where do you make beer?
Yeah.
Like we didn't like, so it took us a few big steps which we learnt. You know, at the start we were outsourcing the beer, making it somewhere else. We'd go in, the canning people would come and can it. We'd box them up ourselves. We'd tape them up. Like we did that for the first bit, you know.
Yeah.
And we were learning about taps in pubs. So the bigger companies own percentages of the taps. So we couldn't just walk into the pub and say, "Oh, can you put us on?" Nah, because it's owned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I learned a whole different world, and which I'm still learning now. You know, but that's like fuck. If we only have to learn it,
Yeah. Well,
someone has to tell us. Once we know, we know. You know what I mean? Then it's up to us to do what we want to do. But it's been a whole ride, and now we're kind of at that point where we're ready to kick it up another level. Obviously, we got Naif on board. Naif's just a good cunt.
Yeah.
Like he's just the poster boy. He's a poster boy. You know what I mean? Like he's legit.
Yeah.
I've met a few people. Sometimes they're not really all that. They're not like that, but he's actually a good bloke, and he's a very good kid, and he's got a very big future ahead of him on the field without Drink West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But even him coming in on the business, and he sits in on our meetings, and you know, it's good for him to also, because I think once I played footy as well, none of them, the footy players that kind of get babied a lot.
Yeah.
And you always tell, oh, you need to think of something to do after footy, this and that.
Yeah.
Like I've been there, I played footy.
Yeah.
Not many of them do it.
Yeah.
So it's good to have him on board, and he comes in, we have meetings, and we fucking sit there and we, you know, bounce ideas off each other and that, you know, and just at the end of the day, we're all just free fucking Westies just trying to have a crack.
Mate, it's so good. And because now I see all the different varieties, you know, brewing your own. I've got to try the pale ale. That's my favourite. I see it in shops. I see it in liquor. I can see it in big shops now. Mate, I'm in like shops, not even in West. I'm up the coast, and I see Drink West.
We did a deal with Coles, so Liquorland and First Choice.
Yeah,
we're obviously going to go bigger soon. Now we've got the brewery. We can make enough beer.
Yeah.
Before it was a struggle with outsourcing the beer and like then we have to pay them to make it. So we just try to cut out the.
Mate, what about it was next minute it was the official beer of the UFC when it comes to Australia?
Yeah, so we sponsor the UFC, Australasia area.
Yeah. Sorry for insulting you with 50 mil before. It's going to be 500.
Yeah, 500.
500.
Yeah, 500 makes me feel better.
Yeah,
it gives me a little.
It's going global.
Gives you a
global.
Little,
hey, you did just mention there that you did play footy. So, I mean, we're going off on different tangents, but there's little lessons everywhere. And actually, a lot of inspiring stuff just comes out of you, mate. You played footy. You were contracted at the Roosters, right?
Yeah.
So you're from Western Sydney. You obviously played junior reps and that. You were a gun as a kid. All the stories about you and Jaquil. And actually, I want to get Jaquil on here.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah. He's like we said, he's one of the most talented people I've met.
Yeah.
In general.
But you went to the Roosters and you lived with Roger Tuivasa.
Yeah.
What was he like?
Rog, yeah, Roger's good. Roger's a good guy.
Yeah, you stay in touch with Rog?
Yeah, we message you in there. He wants to. He was actually messaging me about starting his own studio.
Yeah, right.
He wants to do something like this in New Zealand. His brother's a really big influencer and stuff. So I said to him, "Yeah, fucking, it's the future."
Yeah, his brother, very talented.
Yeah, he is.
Very talented, man.
He's very, very talented. I watch a lot of his videos.
Yeah, Roger, talk about watching his videos, his footy highlights, mate. What an athlete!
Oh yeah, he was an animal.
What an athlete,
he was an animal. I would, if I played him, I'd just be coat hanger.
Yeah,
forearms.
You would. Yeah,
if I got near him,
his footwork's too good. I remember, I took my son once.
He was a freak.
My son
He's
used
a
to
freak.
come to work, and Roger was. Oh, seriously, I'm just thinking back on it. Roger gave him his pair of boots once, one of those fluorescent high top. He started wearing those high top ones.
Yeah.
And it's on our wall at home, actually. My son's got it, a pair of boots.
You'd have some mad
Yeah.
memorabilia.
Oh,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah, that's mad.
But I remember I went to the head coach once. So Roger was trying to transfer from the wing to a fullback. And that's like starting a new business. You gotta get the resources right, you know. You gotta get fit enough. It's a different role. Wing to fullback's a big jump as far as fitness levels and stuff like that. And I remember saying to the coach, I said, Robbo, you need to film a documentary on this kid. And he said, what do you mean? I said, mate, the making of Roger Tuivasa, the fullback. I said, I'm here, I see you in there doing extra video with him. I see Minicello educating him on his fullback
He
role.
played fullback for us.
Did he as a kid?
Yeah, 20s.
Yeah, 20s, yeah.
He played fullback for 20s.
Okay, and then I know they were treating it as a real project, and I was like...
It's Henare Wells and him.
Yeah, right.
And then, yeah.
And I remember at the time, Robbo agreed. He said, mate, yeah, this kid's going to we should be doing a doco. But he goes, this is Trent Robinson. He goes, mate, I love all that 30 for 30 ESPN stuff, but no, we're not doing it. and I was like, okay, no worries. But in 10 years' time, an owner of a club will just say, we're filming this, we're doing this, which is starting to happen. A lot of content is starting to be produced across the clubs. But Roger would have been a great doco just on him.
He's a really good guy.
And imagine we took the cameras to your house when you lived with him.
It was a fun house. It was
yeah.
a very fun house. 66. Shout out to the boys.
So you're a mad Panthers man, though.
Yeah.
Like, so you play juniors for them, but now you go to their games, you wear their kit, you do podcasts with people in the crowd. You are Western Sydney, so Panthers is your team. What's your take on the Panthers the last few years?
We've been killing it.
Yeah.
And I think it's more about holding the juniors.
Yeah.
We've had the best juniors in the comp for, I think, since the start. Western Sydney comp has the best juniors by far. Do you agree?
Yes, 100%.
I think it's about, what's the word, fucking nurturing them or whatever, you know, like finging them up.
Yeah.
Breeding them up, not putting them down.
Yeah.
Bringing in blokes from New Zealand or bringing blokes from the country or something like that. There, you know, it hits us, the people that are from out here.
Does it?
Oh, you're like, fuck them.
Well, you were one.
I was one of them. Yeah.
You were one of them.
I remember I watched them get smashed one time, and one of them come up to me. He's like, "Can you come to training?" I said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, right.
I was there, but not everyone should do. I just my ultimate decision at the end of the day was I could see where rugby league was going, and I could see how the media and when I say it was going, like media influence, people having something to say, and it's more becoming a professional, like becoming this is your job. It's not playing footy on the weekend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like. And I could see them, they were trying to tell me what to say, how to say. I wasn't hanging out with the coaches as much as I should. Like, man, fuck, if I'm playing footy and I'm scoring 2 tries a game, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
But I made my decision and I ran with it. And maybe I was better at violence than I was.
Well, you're very good at the violence game, mate. And I dare say if you drop the F-bomb in your footy press conferences, you would be
and
I in the line, and you'd be like, "Hey,
yeah,
get me out of it."
I was like that. Oh, did I just break something? Fucking hell. Sorry, 27. I was just it's just like they'd ask me what do I think of the game, and I'd say it's fucking shit.
Yeah.
So you can't say that twice. I said, well, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Well, it's not what do you want me to say. I'm saying what I want to say.
Yeah, where I don't think Dana White's ever going to tell you what to say.
No, I don't think so.
What's your relationship with Dana White? Because I know, people love him or hate him. Fighters either love him or hate him. I mean, He's bloody good at what he does. Like
Definitely.
my experience with Dana was, I think I was with you guys once and met him at somewhere in Sydney, and then bumped into him backstage at Jamie Tahuna was weighing in Vegas. I don't think you came with us backstage because you were out for partying.
I was trying to fight the Brazilians.
That's right. And
you just walked past me, fucking scummers.
That's right. And mate, so Dana White walks in with Mike Tyson. This was a spin out. So Mike Tyson comes in, and everyone's like, mate, even Mark Hunt, who was main event, is going, hey, can you take a photo of me and Mike? Like everyone loved Mike.
Yeah.
Like when he walks in the room, like that's it. And we've got all these world-class fighters around us. And so while everyone's getting pictures with Mike, I just said g'day to Dana because I actually respect what he's done as a business. Like I think it's
he's very, very, very good business.
And this is where he spun me out, right? It's like he wouldn't know me from a bar of soap, right? Met him once in Sydney. And so I said, hey, Dana, like I met you in Sydney. And he goes, yeah, how's Jamie Tahuna going? It spun me out. It spun me out. What a skill for a businessman to remember somebody and also remember that connection point that, mate, he only gave me 1 minute of his time, but I followed him more, and it was a very good skill, you know. He's brilliant at what he does, but what's your relationship with Dana White?
My relationship, I'm the worker, he's the boss. I know my role. And that's kind of it. He's been good to me, like you know. But it's not like we fucking hang out or go to lunches or fucking barbecues and that. You know what I mean? I message him sometimes when I'm blind. Fucking hit him up for the jet. Sometimes he just types LOL.
Yeah, right.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's not like Dana's Dana. Dana's my boss. Dana pays me.
Yeah. Lots of money.
Could be more.
Could be more.
But
hey Dana, if you're listening, he deserves more.
But that's Dana's a good bloke. Other than that, it's just.
But he provides a good platform for you too, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you think about it, you're sitting on top of a cage drinking a shoey that the whole billions.
I'm giving him something.
He's giving
fucking eyes.
He's giving you, and you're giving him. It's a great relationship.
He gave me the fight. I did the rest.
Yeah. Because you now have a point of difference. More people are watching, which makes him more money. And then you're back here, your beer company's going boom, and then you're then putting money back into his company, sponsoring it. And it's just a nice little relationship you and Dana have got. That turns into money for both of you.
I want to turn into something.
Well done. Mate, well, let's finish on this 27 project because I think it's awesome. Anyone that wants to hire this studio space out there, you've got like full production shoots. Like it's not just, we're sitting in one of the studios, but it's a real creative space. Do you want to talk about 27 project or the people involved? You know.
27 project is obviously this space here that you've come to now. It was started with Bomber and Nike. They just had a little dungy spot in St Mary's. And they've done it up, and obviously I'm not a fucking creative. I'm not a cameraman or whatever. And I went in, and I've known Bomber since school, so we've gone in, and I was like, fuck. And I just asked, I had a yarn, and like, what do you do? Like, what does Nicky do? And what are it like, you know what I mean? And I was like, we should do so. And then we kind of just went back and forth for a bit. And now we're here. And it's more just about giving our people out here. There is nothing like this out here. There is nothing like this.
Yeah.
And since I started being like on the cameras and doing all this stuff, I have to travel to the city every time. All the time I have to travel to the city. And I was like, I'm a Westie, and I was like, fuck that. Like I want to do something. I want to spot out here. We've got the best sports players. We've got a lot of stuff going on out here. we can do something where it's easy for us to come out here. And then, we've just created this space, and it's just full of creative people. Chris, Bomber, Nicky, they're creative. It's good. It keeps the head going.
Yeah, I've
You know what I
noticed
mean?
that. Like
And-
even just coming and hanging out in there and sitting on the lounge and everyone's tossing up good ideas and that. Like
And
it's a nice spot, man.
it's a space where people can come and express themselves. And we're doing a lot of we got a lot of new shit coming up. Like we're gonna team up with Sony, give kids do fucking what's the word, like teaching them how to use cameras and this and that. Like giving I'm bad with I'm bad with words. I gotta learn the dictionary.
Yeah, but you're
You know, what's the workshops and that, you know what I mean? Like do workshops, teach the kids how to use cameras. Nick gonna do workshops, teach them this. Sony's gonna jump on board. Like we got a few things that we're trying to do and it's
well,
good.
mate, there's like you're known as this this party going fighter. The violence game is but there's a big heart in there, brother. Like even that stuff you're explaining that you want to do good stuff for people out here.
We deserve it.
Yeah, there's a lot of creative people out here. There's so many success stories.
I think we deserve. I think it's more about we deserve it. I think it's easy to get thrown in the easy category of criminals or just nobodies or nothings. You know what I mean? I think it's easier to pick that route.
Yeah, well,
instead of putting some time in.
You've said during this chat you nearly went down some bad routes. We don't need to talk about all that, but is there a real tough time in your life that you look back that you got through that? Is there, if you had to think of the hardest thing in your life, what pops to your head?
The hardest thing. Hard is what you make it.
Because there's been a lot of hard.
It's always fun when you get out of it.
Well,
so it kind of drives you to, I don't know, hardest thing.
Do you know there's a saying?
There was a time for me when I picked this whole fighting gig. And when I say picked it, I kind of, that means I had to leave or stop doing or hanging out or kind of putting time into something else than what I was doing. And I did that, and then I had the fight that I needed to get into the UFC. I fought it and I snapped my knee. He said the guy snapped my knee. Probably because I went the wrong way. I should have listened in jiu-jitsu. And I ended up winning the fight. He stopped. He didn't want to come out, but I snapped my whole knee, MCL, PCL, lateral, whatever. And I had surgery on my knee, and then I woke up with no right arm. My arm was dead, so my arm was dead for 6 months. I had a drop wrist or something. I think it was from not moving me while I was on the surgery table, and probably because I was skinny. So my arm was fucked. I had no arm for 6 months. I signed my first fight with my left hand, and I had no arm. And they said, "Can you fight?" And I said, "Yeah." And I just knew that if I had a time and a place and I had to be there, then fuck, I'm fighting with one arm or no arm.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Hang on.
And that was a pretty hard time in my life. Yeah. And then my son was born. So my son was born. I couldn't hold my son for 6 months. I was really bad. They gave me these fucking what's this pill?
Oh yeah. So you're on.
They gave
heavy
me.
medication.
So it was nerve pain. And nerve pain. I've had some pain.
Yeah.
It's fucking one of the worst pains ever. Nerve pain, like what's this fucking drug? I'm trying to say it because it's the worst drug, and I don't want anyone to take it. I'll come back to you with the name. But I was just, and my partner at the time, my son's mum, I was just eating these drugs and just laying in bed, and my son was born, and I was just fucking drowning myself in these pills because it was painful, but then it was like that was how you got rid of the pain. So then I was just getting fucking
Endone or something like that.
what's it called? Lyrica.
Yeah, right.
Lyrica.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. And it just starts making you think bad things. Like, and I was just, and then anyway, she come in one day and she's just like, Ty, you fucking,
Get off these.
you're
drugs.
useless. Like, you're not talking to her son. You're not here. You know what I mean? And then I was just like, fuck. And I just threw everything out. And then, like, obviously, I'm not fucking popping pills. They gave it to me because it was.
Yeah.
But
That happens to a lot of people.
fuck, I was in some pain after that.
Mate.
It just felt like they had a knife in my arm and it was just dragging up and down. And I was just sitting there. I didn't sleep. I was just crying and screaming. But yeah, it was a pretty hard time.
Holy shit. I was about to finish the podcast and then I've asked you that question. You've blown my mind. So you've snapped your knee to make it in the UFC, won the fight with the snapped knee to start with. Yeah. You can't move your arm. You sign a contract left-handed. You can't hold your kid. You must have gone through a mental stage there. Like, without a doubt, you were plummeting by the sounds of it. And then they said, you want to have a fight? And you're going, yeah, let's get it on. So tell us about your first fight. And by this stage, it's for your son because he was just born and you couldn't even hold him in the lead-up or talk to him because you weren't
then
there.
I had a physio reach out to me. His name's Rashan. And he's just a fan of the UFC, and he goes, I'd love to help you. And once this happened, I was like, I messaged him and he helped me. And man, we started. I remember, do you know the cords from the fucking from the like the wires, cables, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't pull the cord with my right hand, and it was just a big like I've been through some hard things, you know, but this was more this is make it or break it.
And did you win your first fight?
Second flying knee ever to be thrown in the heavyweight division. Sydney. It was at home.
Yeah.
It was Sydney, so I had to. That was why I said yes.
I was there. I just didn't even remember. Just didn't even link. That was your first one.
Yeah, that was my first one. And then from there. It's just...
What's been your favourite fight? Is that your favourite?
They're all my favourite. Even my losses. My favourite fight. Obviously, you like favourite fights when you win, but I do have to say the Cyril Gane fight in France, the crowd, the atmosphere is just it's why I do it.
Yeah, right.
It's something you can never, you can only watch movies and shit about, you know. And they were screaming this fucking song. I don't know what it was. It's probably like the Brazilian song saying fucking cut their head off or something. But the power and the energy you feel. I remember just looking at him while we were fighting. I said, fucking, how about this? And he just goes, yeah. We looked at it. Then we just continued to kick the fuck out of my guts. But yeah.
Because you always say you just love banging.
Yeah.
I'm a banger from Western Sydney. You always say that. And your opponents must respect that. They just know, like...
This is fighting. This isn't... And we're heavyweights. If I hit you...
Yeah.
If I dink him, I'll sink him.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got to dink him first. That's the hard... That's the name of the sport, you know. And that's why, you know, I got a lot of people say what they want, but I'm out here competing against the best athletes in the world.
Yeah, man.
Fighting is one of the hardest sports ever.
100%. The hardest sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love it. And I'm very grateful and thankful for the sport.
Yeah.
To give me all these opportunities that I've had.
Well, you know, I love the fight game and I love the mentality. I love if you had a team full of fighters, you don't lose with that mentality. And I brought you into Origin camp once. Remember this? There's you, there was Tyson, Pedro. I introduced him as the mad student, the studier of the game, the professional, whatever. And then Chock Mundine came in.
Yeah.
And Bilal Akaway, mad
Bilal.
on the body shots. He was number 4 in the world at
That
the
was,
time.
it was a good
Yeah.
boxer.
And, mate, I'll never forget it because the whole idea was get you guys around the boys. And we were bonding over a bit of fighting and that. We're not fighters, but... So over in one corner, I've got Chock, and he's talking to Nathan Cleary about, like a young Nathan about, and he's punching him, and he's like, "You're the general, brother. They listen to you, brother." And Chock's in his ear, ready, getting him ready to play this State of Origin game. And Tyson's over there. I said, "Hey, Tyson, just put a bit of pressure on. I want to see how this guy handles, like." And then like Bilal, I've said, "Bilal, go and bang the body of whoever. I want to see how he responds to you and whatever." So, and I turn around and then you're in the corner with Latrell Mitchell. And you're basically like hugging him just with like a couple of little taps. And I walk over, "Ty, what are you doing, mate?" And you said, "Oh, I'm just asking Latrell where we're going tonight." Mate. Oh, Jesus. You always have fun doing
There's
what
one
you
in
do.
the team. That's me.
You always have fun doing what you do. The music you come out to, like, what's with that? Like, you've had some pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you come out to Celine Dion?
Yeah, I've come out to it all.
Yeah.
But that's I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
That's me just enjoy. And they remind me of my mum. They're mostly the songs me and my mum cruised around when I was little. So they remind me of my mum, but it's more like, fuck, I'm having fun.
Mate, I've had
And
so
I'd rather
much.
everyone else have fun too.
Well, mate, I've had fun doing this. So
Thank you.
Thanks so much for jumping on this show, mate. It's been I love what you're doing, and I love the fun you bring, the energy you bring. Thanks, bro.
Shut up, my bro. Thank you for having me.
Some of the best learning you will ever do will be traveling. Give yourself space, time to creatively think, to learn, to meet people, or take a vacation with your family. Give yourself that time. And there's no better person or people or company to help you than the people at Tripadeal. Their experienced agents will look after you from start to finish. They will plan your flights, your accommodation, your car, your excursions, whatever you need. If you want to plan a trip of a lifetime, Tripadeal is the place to go. Tripadeal.com.au